Well, I had myself a pretty bad water leak. The old water heater decided to give out, and it was a slow one. So it did a lot of damage in my closet, hallway, bedroom, laundry. Well, you get the idea. Not a nice cleanup. So we got everything tore out, put back, and I needed to make a cover panel for that water heater closet. And that's what we're going to do today. So stay tuned. So I got my cover panel cut out with a little room side to side, and that little notch is going to go around the curb of the water heater closet. I decided I was going to use door casing, kind of like a molding around the edge, so that's what we're cutting now. Sometimes you got to ease up on the cut, and well, if you start too far out, you really have to ease up on the cut. But I snuck up enough to find it, and finally got the piece cut to fit. Whew. Seemed like it took me all day. But hey, I got it. One quick tip I'll give you there is if you've got long pieces and you're trying to measure inside dimensions, instead of trying to hold it on 1 or 10 or whatever, use the edge of a bench or table or something to hold that, clamp it in place. Then you can easily hook your tape and measure it, and that's a lot easier to try to do on longer spans especially. Just a quick tip that's worked for me for years. So once we got all the pieces cut there, it's time to glue it and nail it, or glue it and screw it, whatever you want to do. In this case, I'm just going to put some glue and some brads to hold it in place while the glue dries. And yes, I did check to make sure the brads weren't going to come through the panel on the other side. So once you get sufficient glue and nails in place, just work your way around. And you can't see it there, but I did mark a line, so I am pulling that molding to the line. Love that little roll around bench, it's quite handy. And so here I decided to show you how I marked the line. Just helps you keep yourself in check while you're making long runs like that. Otherwise you wind up with a funky bow. Anyway, get the molding put down to the panel. And this did have offsets that were not equal on any side. So I had to make good measurements, and when I attached the molding, I had to create those offsets and be able to get that on there accurately, otherwise it wouldn't fit. So make sure in your case you've got good measurements, and hopefully yours is, well, equal on all 4 sides to make your life a little bit easier. Alright, now the molding's on, let's get the keyhole slots attached. And this is where the offsets kind of threw me off a little. At least I didn't think they did, but yeah, just wait till the end. So it's time to put those keyhole slots in place. Now I did measure down a certain distance because I knew I needed those at least a set amount from the top. And so that's what I've got. So I used a centering bit to line that up. And I'm just wanting to make sure that the centering bit's not too deep. Make a quick adjustment, and I'm back to action. So I got the one on the left side complete. And then we'll move off to the right eventually. Just double checking that screw's doing a fit, and just to make sure what kind of measurement I have there. And I'll line the one on the right up in the exact same location from the top. Again, centering bit to get it all lined up, and then finish it out with a screw. So when using these little picture frame hangers, the little key slots, there's a couple of ways to do it. Obviously you can measure, mark your edges, measure in, measure down, go that way, and that works fine. It's very efficient. But what I learned a few years ago, and this works really well with one keyhole especially, but with two, it still works. So what you do is take your screw and just run it through some tape. All right, you insert your screw into the keyhole slot that you're going to be using. You push it all the way up and all the way back, and you just slide your tape back and keep that tape firm so that that screw is held in the perfect position on the key slot. Now, at that point, all you need to do is get it lined up on the wall about where you want it. Give it a little press. Now you don't have to use as long a screw as I'm using here, but I'm using it because it's the screw I'm actually going to run into the wall. So just give it a little depression against the wall and you'll be left with a perfect screw location. So I did this on the other side, but I thought I'd show you guys this side just so you could see. So what I've done is I've got the panel all the way down, this side locked in so I know where it goes, and you can see right there, just give that a little knock and it makes an indentation exactly where you need to place your screw. So lift that back off and run a screw right into that. That looks pretty close. Now let's see how bad we did. Alright, not bad for the first round. I could probably suck that in a little more, but you can see this is fully on the wall, and now I can go about my business. Alright, so I could have recessed that keyhole a little bit, but not too worried about it. It's one of those nice ones that's got an actually raised area. This being in the closet, I'm not too concerned about it, but this thing is on there. I'm good to go. I'm all the way down. Now I can finish out my trim and get the rest of this thing painted. I get primed and then painted. Hey, and then I'll be ready to install for real. Not to bore you with the finishing side, I did paint that with a roller, the same color as the wall. Then I brushed on some of the trim with the general finishes enamel white. Turned out pretty well. I was hoping to have sprayed all that, but just didn't work out. Too cold in the shop. And you can see after I added some hooks on there for decoration for hanging, well, garb. She took full advantage of that, and there you go. And because you hung around this long, yeah, I'll throw you a bone and show you where I screwed up a couple times. So here we go. Enjoy. Oh, that's a little easier. Alright, so I've got that one in there. I'm pushed in at the bottom. So all I'm going to do is just give that a gentle push. And that should. It did not leave me an indentation. Huh. Well, that was an epic fail, wasn't it? Gotta love it when a plan messes up. Well, if you found this at all helpful, well, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, be notified, all those good things. See you next time.